welcome to Dimples and Dimes, the Golf Business Talk. My guest today is Kristina Kohn from GreenUp Golf Teas. Christian, you have a huge experience in the coffee business, and now you're also an investor into GreenUp and the coffee golf teas. By the way, for me, it's perfect. The best preparation I could ever do for such chat is just having my regular coffee. Yeah, welcome to the club. Yeah. How did this idea start?
It's a fun story, and thank you for being a part of this podcast. I look forward to it. Well, the story is a few years ago, I saw a LinkedIn post with GreenUp Teas, the coffee teas, and being in the coffee business, being country manager for Sigafredo Coffee at the time. I just instantly knew I needed that as a gimmick. I play golf myself, but finally I had the chance to give something to my customers and clients as a gimmick. So I reached out, and nothing really happened. And then after a month or two, he returned, and I said, well, now I need those teas fast because I'm going to meet all of Sigafredo in Northern Europe. I want to show them this amazing idea. Can we utilize that in the coffee world? So that was the beginning. And then we can go back to the rest of the story because it's a long one.
Now, are you using fresh coffee or is it used coffee that you apply?
It's used coffee. It's used. It's actually circular then because it's coffee that has been collected and reused again.
Lovely. You were just mentioning it. It's a long study, so that sounds like there are other people, other partners being involved. Or is this solo business, or do you have business partners?
No, I have business partners. So Jacob, who founded it back in the day, he's out now. And then there is me, and then there is the majority owner called Anders. He's the CEO and has 60%. And then we've got two silent partners, where one of them is David Shepard, who may be known in the golf business. He has personal involvement in it. And then me. So we're currently four, whereof I am the commercial part and actually the one doing most of the part at the moment. And Anders is behind me and supporting me. Yeah.
Now, I just checked your website and it says, okay, beside coffee, you're using other biomaterials, which is very important regarding sustainability. Could you give us an idea which other biomaterial you are using to make those teas?
Yeah, of course I can. Well, it's biodolmers. It's a combination of calcium carbonate, vegetable oil, and some cane sugar and some starch. And then we are mixing that with our coffee fibers. And then we inject and mold the teas actually.
Okay.
Yeah. And actually by doing so, we're using a lot less CO2 if you use plastic injection, for instance. So it's good in many ways. Yeah.
Now, I know there are many golf clubs that say, yes, of course, in the age of sustainability, we want to get rid of plastic teas. So let's switch to wooden teas or bamboo teas. Why would you say are your coffee teas more sustainable?
I'm glad you're asking that because obviously, and I need to acknowledge the fact that golf courses has taken the first sustainable step from removing plastic. So that's good. I mean, having said that, it's good. Now, the second thing is, can we do better as a golf course? Is wood okay? Well, if it's deforesting, it's not okay, to be honest. If you use wood teas from old wood that you collected from the beach, that's fine, but it's not. It's deforesting. And then bamboo is good because it grows fast. So it is, a commodity that is made in China. It grows fast. You cut, it grows fast. So in that sense, okay. But it's still deforesting at some point. You can argue that it's still deforesting. And then obviously you got the shipment from China or where else these bamboo teas are made, but mainly China. And then obviously we are, within Europe, we are shipping from Denmark and everything is being produced in Denmark. And if we are getting to US or to Korea that we're looking into, we would at that time ship the compound and have them produced locally. So that's sort of the vision for it. Coming back to the bamboo, not all bamboo is yellow, green, red. When I see a bamboo, growing up, it's light brown. So there is some, steps to move onwards, as I see it.
Mm-hmm. Now, I had the pleasure to check your teas, and one thing that I noticed, if I take them out of the bag, it really smells like coffee. Is this the natural smell that's still kept from the coffee as being a component, or is this artificially added smell?
It's not artificially added,
Okay.
so it's there.
Yeah.
I'll be honest to say, if you take one tea, you can hardly smell it if it's very freshly made. But if you open the bag of the combination of several teas, there is leaving a scent of coffee there. So it's no artificial. So it's very important to say that, and people are asking about that. When we produce our teas, nothing is added. Nothing is added to bind it. Nothing is added. No chemicals. No anything. It's just
So
biomaterial.
it's just the pressure?
Just pressure, yeah.
Just the pressure?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it, yeah.
I think that's the reason why you have sugar cane, because the sugar, of course, helps with the pressure and just helps to keep a form. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, that's interesting. And you were mentioning it's produced in Denmark.
Yeah.
So where did that machinery come from? Because I think it's not the typical espresso machine you are using now with a different form and stamp the teas. Had you developed this machinery on your own, or could you use industry expertise?
Industry expertise. But to be honest, the good thing is that we're actually just producing a mold for teas, and then it's normal injection molded, because our compound works as if it was plastic, and again, it's not, but it works as if it is. So you mix the materials, and then you heat it up, and you start making an injection mold. So we burnt this two molding forms, from which then we're doing normal teas and castle teas. And so the biomaterial we get from Sweden, the coffee we get from Denmark, and the production is happening in Denmark, and we ship from Denmark. So it's very European, to say the least.
Oh, that's great. And how about energy supply for the production process? Is this sustainable energy as well? Is it green energy, or?
I need to be very honest there and say, the best thing is maybe green energy. The production site we're using is not having solar panels or anything like that. So I need to be honest there and saying, no, the energy is
no problem.
It's mainly, for now, but it's food for thought. But a lot of the energy that we get in Denmark anyhow is green energy. So having said that, but I can't say that we have, a stamp on it or anything like that. No.
Just by mentioning a stamp, is it possible to put, for instance, a golf club name or a company's name on your teas as well?
Indeed it is. So we have two solutions. We have the normal printing solution like every other tea. Having said that, we are not using primer or sealer or anything beneath it, so it's just pure print, so we can do that. And then we have actually done, the extra effort to do completely sustainability, so we can also do laser engraving. So you can laser engrave your golf course on it, and you can instantly feel it, and you can obviously, of course, see it. Perhaps, to be honest, not as clear as if it were print, but it has a very high-end feel and touch to it. And actually, we are doing that for the Eco Tour. We are a tea partner for the Danish Eco Tour, and we have laser engraved 35,000 teas. So the pros or the upcoming pros for the Eco Tour players are using our teas. Well, they can choose to use our teas. And there's absolutely no, how do you say it, less quality in the tea stability or anything, because we laser engrave in it. So it still has the durability and the function to it. So that's quite amazing. And that's also done in Denmark. So the laser engraving and the printing is also done in Denmark. So again, no shipment from China or anything like that.
You were just mentioning functionality. Do you see any differences between your teas and other teas where you say, okay, that's been a feedback we got from players and stuff like that?
Yes. So, and I'll be honest, I will say The negative thing you're getting, and I don't want to hide that, is obviously that, well, some players tend to say that it disappears from because it's brown. Uh, it is brown, and we will not color it.
Yeah,
So it's brown for the
yeah,
coffee, and that's it. On the positive side is that they're actually quite bendy, especially the long ones, the 70 millimeter is. So it has a high amount of stability and functionality, durability, but then it's also a bit bendy. So if you're not striking it clean, it will not break. Whereas if you have a wood or
that's
bamboo
great. Yeah,
tee, most likely they will break. You can snap them between
yeah.
your fingers. That will not happen with our tee.
Hmm.
Especially if you go down to the 53 millimeter, obviously the shorter it is, the stronger it gets. And then we now also made castle tees, because we saw that a lot of plastic tees are castle tees, and for the mid to high handicapper, a lot of golfers prefer to have the fixed amount of space between the ball and the ground, so you don't have that in your mind when teeing up. So definitely there is an
Hmm.
advantage in our stability, and we get golfers saying that our tees last longer, and they last longer than especially wood tees as well. Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. Now, on the one hand side, they last longer being in use. On the other hand side, as they are fully sustainable, how long does it take? Because we know about if I throw, let's say, a wooden piece of tea into the wood, this will need a couple of years, if not decades, to diminish. How about your teas, if they are, for instance, thrown away by the golfers into the ground?
Two things will happen. Firstly, it will dissolve over time. It's very difficult for me to say the exact time, but you will see grass grow. You will
Yeah.
see that it will become one
Hmm.
with nature way before, because wood is not becoming one with nature. Wood is just lying there. Our teeth will slowly,
Correct.
because of the coffee, the bacteria, the worms will start eating it, and you will see grass growing from it. You will have the fertilizing effects still from the coffee. So it
Hmm.
will slowly disappear because it would look like the grass or the ground, and it may take up until again 2 years before it's completely gone.
Hmm.
That is just to take its time because it's so compressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's very important
Wonderful.
to say that it's not going to leave any microplastic or anything in that period
Hmm.
of time.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have the plastic tea off, it will never disappear, and it will slowly, throw away or throw away. Slowly, microplastic will be left. And if you have a completely wooden tea with that is brown, not brown, but red, blue, green, all of that paint will leave some microplastic. Yeah.
Interesting. Now, you were just mentioning, of course, you are active in the European market. You're also addressing some overseas markets. Where are you currently selling your product, and what are future target markets, perhaps?
So currently we have a distributor called Golf Contour, who is taking care of Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, and they're doing very
Hmm.
well. Then we have Tomorrow Golf is also selling our teams. They're purchasing from Golf Contour, obviously. We've got a distributor in
Okay.
Belgium. We've got a distributor in Holland. We've got a distributor in the UK,
Hmm.
in Norway. That's it for now. And then
Yeah.
we've just launched our tees in the US by a company called Tomo Shoes, a high-end golf shoe who is now selling our tees. And we just sold
Hmm.
tees to South Africa, trying to build a
Great.
distribution work there. Actually, the owner of Sugar Balls is now, trying to be distributing our tees.
Hmm.
And Volley Golf in New Zealand and Australia. So we are actually, slowly growing. And next step
Oh,
is
lovely.
definitely South Korea. There's a
Hmm.
growing golf market there. We have already gotten a request from a golf course. And of course, growing US. US is very important, and UK,
Yeah.
of course. Um,
Hmm.
so, and we're just trying to have our processes in order now so we can easily and quickly scale up. We've got production, we've got
Yeah.
stock, we've got now producers, sorry, distributors in main Europe. So we can deliver quite many tees now. So that's good.
Yeah.
Um,
So if a German or Austrian or Swiss golf club would love to have your tees in their pro shop or just being available to the golfers, they could contact Golf Contour,
yeah,
or would they
yeah.
have to contact yourself?
Nope. If in Germany, Switzerland, Austria,
Mm-hmm.
golf course pro shop, contact Golf Contour,
Mm-hmm.
and they will help you instantly. They have all our assortment. So
Okay.
yeah.
And one thing that I'm always a bit astonished is that if you just count the amount of rounds many golfers play compared to that, the amount of tees in just one package is relatively small. Do you have, following the idea of sustainability, kind of a refill concept as we see with, like, exactly like coffee, where I can just buy the beans and then put them in my own box and stuff like that?
I think it's an amazing idea, and I think, to be honest, golf club or pro shop at the golf courses should have loose tees instead of bags. Imagine, and I
Mm-hmm.
actually spoke to a golf club in Holland called Waterland, and they were actually
Mm-hmm.
trying to sell the tees per weight. So they purchased a lot of our tees
Yeah.
in bulk, loose, and instead of having tees in bags, you could have them in your pro shop and buy them per gram, so they could, I don't know, whatever cost,
Yeah.
euro cent or whatever. So you would be able to
Mm-hmm.
buy your 10 teeth for that amount of round or whatever, and then refill your nice cotton bag or your nice, whatever bag you have in your golf
Yeah.
bag. So I think it's up for us as an industry to make that possible and have the discussions with the process, because I think it's an amazing idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, I've just seen, let me just show it here, that your colleagues from Golf Contour, they did a great job with just having this non-plastic, and then that's important, packaging as well. And that's exactly, I can use it and use it and use it and just need a refill, but I don't have to buy every time a plastic wrapped thing. That's, I don't know which company it's been. That's been for me one of those stories of the year, when one company replaced a plastic straw by a natural straw. But of course, to be hygienic, they put this natural straw in a plastic cover. So that's sometimes a bit weird consequence of trying to be on the one hand side sustainable and on the other hand side hygienic.
Yeah.
But yeah, great to hear.
We
Now,
did actually have a cooperation with a Portuguese company called Moxade, actually, and they were actually making small pouches out of old old material as well. So there is the opportunity to get that and have it in your bag and then try loose teeth. So yeah, but it's a way forward. Completely agree.
Mm-hmm. Now, you were mentioning Golf Contour as the German distributor. How about golfers that cannot find your cheese in their local pro shop? How can they get your product?
Well, they can go to our web shop, or they can go to Tomorrow Golf has a web shop where they have our teas and distribute from Austria and Germany. And right now, we don't have any other German sort of web shop, but we're working on it. And I know that obviously Golf Contour is working on trying to not only distribute business to business, but also business to consumer. But otherwise, they can go to our web shop and they can buy from our web shop as well. Obviously, price is an issue, so I would recommend Tomorrow Golf locally in that region. Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. Now, what's the marketing strategy to enhance sales in the next couple of months and years from GreenUp?
We've decided, well, there's a few paths. So on the sustainability and on the we're supporting a project in Africa, in Uganda, called Afriya, where we're supporting children in that area to become golfers, and we're supplying them with teas.
Wonderful.
So that's the sustainable and the emotional part of who we want to be. And then we are actually the official tea partner for the Eco Tour in Denmark. So that's the endorsements of the tea quality. If a pro or upcoming pro can play with our tea, it should be okay. And then it's about, trying to use the social media where we're going to, talk about sustainability and try to showcase our teas as much as we can. And then it's up for the distributors in the markets that we're having to utilize what we're coming with. We're going to attend England Golf in September. They have a sustainability day there at Woodhall Spa, and talk about sustainability in golf. So we as GreenUp are trying to push the GreenUp brand, talk about the team's advantages in quality and functionality, but also in terms of circularity and sustainability. And then the different distributors can utilize on that, which is why, for instance, Tomorrow Golf has their brand on it, but our brand on the backside, so we're not competing. There's only going to be one original Kobe, and that's ours. But we're not going to spend money before we have it, so it's a costly thing to be a startup. So we're trying to be clever and trying to be smart and do as much as we can.
Are there other products under consideration to extend the product range, or?
Yeah, we hopefully this end of this year will be able to produce a pitchfork and a golf marker, to have a complete sustainable golf assortment, so to say, a tees, pitchfork, and a marker. We're talking to a Danish producer of pencils to actually make a golf pencil of our compound. So that's still within the golf range. Outside the golf range, we're actually having discussions with a Swedish supplier of testing to do pots for pot plants for our compound. So if you go to the florist and you buy a little flower, normally it's within a plastic pot, whatever you call it in English. Imagine if you can, put that and put it straight to the ground, or at least take it out and throw it in the compost instead of plastic. So those are, and then there's pottery going on with. So there's many opportunities for what we have, for sure.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Currently, you were mentioning you're producing them in the lengths of 53 and 70 millimeters. Any other lengths under consideration, or will you focus on these two lengths because they are suitable for, the drive and the iron play?
I think for now we're going to stick to that. Obviously, we have the castle teeth with then the 4 centimeter castle teeth, or the 40 millimeters, and the 10, which is then drive and iron for the tee box. As a startup, it's quite costly to buy a new molding form, but of course, if we get, let's see, overseas clients and they start producing, then we can cooperate. Or if we can get, used plastic molds, then we can look into it. But for now, we rather have investing in making a pitchfork and a marker than having, a tee that is 80 millimeters or whatever. We have to use, the most, makes sense.
Wonderful. Christian, thank you very, very much for these fantastic insights. It really sounds and is a wonderful product. Best of luck for the next upcoming years, that you will be soon able to leave the stage of the startup and become a regular market participant. Best of luck, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for being part of it, Michael. Thank you.